What if the biggest break of your career was actually a trap? What if a simple phone call, polite, friendly, almost professional, was in reality a death sentence? On February 2nd, 2008, 24-year-old realtor Lindsay Buziak thought she was on the verge of the deal of a lifetime. A mysterious couple wanted to see a $1 million property. For any young real estate agent, that's the kind of opportunity that could change everything. But instead, it ended her life. She was found brutally stabbed inside an upscale home in British Columbia. No signs of robbery, no sexual assault, no forced entry, just a violent, precise, and chilling execution. To this day, the case remains unsolved. No one has ever been charged, and the questions are as haunting as ever. Who set her up? Why was she targeted? And how did the killers vanish without a trace? This is the dark truth. Who was Lindsay Buziak? To understand the tragedy, you first need to know who Lindsay was. Born on November 1983, Lindsay grew up in Victoria, British Columbia. She was lively, ambitious, and known for her kindness. Her friends described her as bubbly and generous, the type of person who could make anyone feel special. Even as a young girl, she showed her caring spirit, once creating a Facebook page called People Who Love Sarah just to celebrate her sister. At 24, Lindsay was building a promising career in real estate, following in the footsteps of her father, Jeff, who was also a successful realtor. She had a supportive family, a wide circle of friends, and a boyfriend, Jason Zalo, who came from a well-established real estate family. On the surface, Lindsay seemed to have it all: love, success, and a bright future. But beneath that perfect image, cracks were beginning to show. She had confided to her father that Jason could be controlling, possessive, even jealous. She was considering ending the relationship, though she hadn't done it yet. Still, no one could have predicted what was about to happen. Lindsay wasn't just living her dream, she was about to walk into her nightmare. The strange phone call. In late January 2008, Lindsay received a phone call that would change everything. The caller was a woman with a foreign-sounding accent. She explained that she and her husband had just relocated to the area and were looking to buy a $1 million home immediately. They claimed a former client had referred them to Lindsay, even giving a name. The request was specific: a large house, 3 bedrooms, room for staff, and ready to move in within days. For a young realtor like Lindsay, this wasn't just business. This was a golden ticket. But something about the call unsettled her. The woman insisted she would only work with Lindsay, no other agents. She called Lindsay's personal cell phone instead of her work line, which was unusual, and her accent didn't sound natural, almost as if it was being faked. Lindsay told her father she felt uneasy. She confided to Jason too, saying something about it didn't feel right. But both encouraged her to take the opportunity. After all, it was the kind of sale realtors dream about. Lindsay's ambition outweighed her instincts. She agreed to meet the mysterious couple on February 2nd. The house she chose was a new property at 1702 De Souza Place. She thought it was the start of a career-defining deal. It was actually the setup for her death. Day of the murder, February 2nd, 2008. It was a cold but clear Saturday afternoon. At 5:30 p.m., Lindsay was scheduled to meet the mysterious couple at the house on De Souza Place. Earlier in the day, she had lunch with Jason. Afterwards, they split up. Jason went to run errands with a friend. Lindsay went home to change clothes before the showing. Around 5:29 p.m., witnesses saw Lindsay greet a tall man with dark hair and a blonde woman in a colorful dress. They looked like an ordinary couple, polite, normal, nothing suspicious. They walked inside the house with Lindsay. The lockbox records confirmed the door opened at exactly 5:29. It was the last time anyone saw Lindsay alive. At 5:41 p.m., just 12 minutes later, Lindsay's phone made a mysterious pocket dial to a friend. On the voicemail, only muffled sounds could be heard. Investigators later concluded this was the moment Lindsay was attacked. Jason arrived at the cul-de-sac a few minutes later. He thought he saw 2 people leaving, but then turning back into the house when they noticed him. Instead of going inside immediately, Jason waited outside for about 20 minutes. When he finally approached, Lindsay wasn't answering her phone. The front door was locked, but the back door was found open. Jason and his friend went inside. Upstairs, in the master bedroom's ensuite bathroom, they found Lindsay lying in a pool of blood. She had been stabbed over 40 times. There were no signs of struggle, no defensive wounds, meaning she never saw it coming. Her wallet, phone, and valuables were untouched. This wasn't a robbery. It was a calculated, targeted killing, and the killers had vanished without leaving a single trace. Investigation and theories. From the beginning, investigators knew this wasn't random. The attack was too precise, too rehearsed. Authorities called it a professional hit. The mysterious phone number that contacted Lindsay was traced to a burner phone, purchased 3 months earlier under a fake name with cash. The phone had only ever been used to call Lindsay, and it was deactivated forever right after the murder. So who wanted her dead? And why the professional hit? Some believe the killers were hired assassins. The level of planning, the speed of the attack, and the complete absence of forensic evidence suggest experienced professionals. The drug cartel connection. Weeks before her death, Lindsay had visited her father in Calgary. Around that time, police busted one of the largest cocaine rings in Alberta's history. Some suspects in that drug ring had loose ties to Lindsay's acquaintances. The theory goes, someone believed Lindsay was an informant. Killing her would have been a message, but there's no hard evidence. The boyfriend. Suspicion also fell on Jason Zalo. Lindsay had told her father she wanted to end the relationship. Some questioned Jason's behavior. Why wait outside so long? Why run straight upstairs to the master bedroom as if he knew where she was? Police investigated him thoroughly. He even passed a polygraph. Ultimately, they cleared him as a suspect. An inside conspiracy. Another theory is that someone close to Lindsay, maybe even in real estate circles, orchestrated the murder. The killers may have been actors, hired just to lure her. But despite thousands of leads, police found no DNA, no fingerprints, no murder weapon, and no usable surveillance. It's as if the killers simply vanished into thin air. Families fight for justice. For Lindsay's father, Jeff Buziak, the murder was more than a crime. It was a wound that never healed. Jeff has dedicated his life to seeking justice for his daughter. He launched a website, organized protests, and confronted police publicly, demanding answers. In press conferences, he described holding his daughter's body in the morgue, vowing he would never stop searching for her killers until his last breath. He believes someone, somewhere, knows the truth. Over the years, Jeff has faced threats, lawsuits, and opposition, but he refuses to stay silent. Meanwhile, police insist the case is still active, not cold. They've spent millions of dollars, interviewed hundreds, and continue to receive new tips. But for over 15 years, no arrest has been made. For Lindsay's family, the pain is constant. Every day is a reminder of the justice they've been denied. Why this case still haunts us. The murder of Lindsay Buziak is more than just an unsolved crime. It's a story about trust, ambition, and betrayal. Lindsay trusted that the voice on the phone was just another client. She trusted that opportunity was knocking. Instead, it was death. Her murder remains one of Canada's most haunting mysteries because it feels like a ghost story. A young woman lured into a trap, slaughtered in minutes, and the killers disappearing without a trace. The unanswered questions are chilling. Why Lindsay? Who ordered the hit? How did the killer slip away without leaving a single clue? The longer the case remains unsolved, the more it becomes a symbol of fear, a reminder that even in broad daylight, surrounded by people, you can still be vulnerable to evil hiding in plain sight. So what really happened to Lindsay Buziak? Was she the victim of a drug cartel hit? Was she silenced because she knew something she shouldn't? Or was the danger far closer to home? 15 years later, we still don't know. But one thing is certain. Someone out there knows the truth. And until they are brought to justice, Lindsay's story will remain a chilling reminder of trust, betrayal, and the perfect crime. What do you think about this case? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories. This is The Dark Truth.